building behind me is the Royal Courts of Justice here in the Strand in London. The entire building is filled with flying disc symbolism and Masonic symbolism. Many years ago there was a case here at the Royal Courts of Justice concerning a gentleman who was so concerned about certain things he had seen built into a London building that he brought the matter to the Royal Courts of Justice. Now this man was publicly ridiculed by both the judge and the British media. The judge said to him, "You are a little man who has stumbled upon something far bigger than you can possibly comprehend." And I believe what he stumbled upon was all the UFO symbolism built into all of these buildings in the UK, which gives away the fact that the British government and all the other governments in the world are in fact in league with Satan and the fallen angels, plotting the downfall and death and destruction of all mankind. Now there's something else very interesting which once again pertains to that fact all along Fleet Street, which we're going to visit now. This monument behind me in the middle of Fleet Street is very, very interesting. First of all, it has a dragon at the top, which, as most of you know, is in fact a symbol of Satan. But it gets even more interesting the closer we look. At the bottom of this monument we have two very well-known figures, Gog and Magog, the giants from the book of Revelation, who will do battle with God Almighty himself at Armageddon. Now you have to ask yourself why the two giants from the book of Revelation, Gog and Magog, who will do battle with God at Armageddon, are depicted as the defenders of London. Who would two Nephilim giants, Gog and Magog, be defending London from other than God Almighty himself? As you can see, Queen Victoria is also depicted on this monument alongside Gog and Magog, and above her head once again we have the UFO arches. The whole statue here is covered in Masonic symbolism and Satanic symbolism and has a monarch of England alongside Gog and Magog, the enemies of God and all mankind. Behind me there is a very interesting cryptography which from a particular angle looks like an owl and explains to us why the owl is used as a Masonic cryptography. It does in fact depict a winged disc, a horn disc, once again. Most of the buildings surrounding the area of the Royal Courts of Justice are in fact barristers' chambers, and these are all buildings which go to serve the running of the court. Now many of you may not know that when you go to see a barrister you're actually going to see a judge, many of them High Court judges. So you're not just seeing someone who is acting on your behalf to represent you, you're actually seeing someone who is in fact judging you. Behind me, as you can see, there is UFO symbolism. There's a half dome and two full discs behind that. Once again, these are barristers' chambers. They are all Masonic symbolism throughout the entire area. Once again, behind me, we have more cryptography pertaining to winged discs and flying reptilians. Here in both of these, you can see that there is a bird and a disc with a snake, so it's a winged disc containing reptilians. This is BBC Bush House. It's where the BBC do all their worldwide radio broadcasting from, and the whole place again pertains to giants, UFOs and the 8th planet, which is Nibiru, and there's a very, very interesting mosaic on the floor, once again confirming that. famous Gherkin building in London. It's completely made up of triangles and in fact depicts a UFO taking off with swirling thrusters. Now you have to ask yourself why the two giants from the book of Revelation, Gog and Magog, who will do battle with God at Armageddon, are depicted as the defenders of London. Who would two Nephilim giants, Gog and Magog, be defending London from, other than God Almighty himself?